Okay, today we're going to be doing an oil change for those that don't know how to do the oil change for yourself. This will definitely save you a lot of money, relatively simple, and it's also pretty quick. So what you're going to need is your jack and your jack stands, and then an oil pan or a bucket, and then some sort of socket set. When you jack it up, you want to be on something solid. So I have it on the main brace of this frame. I have my jack stands underneath just in case my jack fails. Got my oil pan, and then you're gonna come up underneath and look for the oil filter as well as the oil drain bolt. What we're gonna do next is to loosen the bolt. Once you get that loose, you're gonna be able to hand loosen it, and that way you don't pull it off and it just sprays everywhere. I like to loosen it up a little bit, and then I'll loosen it until it gets to the very edge of the grooves, and then I'll take it out and pull it up so it doesn't get on me, and the oil also goes directly into my oil pan. So once you take your oil bolt out, drain the old oil out and put it directly into your oil pan. I've got my helper as well. Okay, so once all or most of your oil's out, we're gonna put the bolt back in. Next thing you're gonna need is one of these two tools. They both do the same job. I prefer the clamps just because I feel like I have more control. And then we're just gonna put this on there, and then pull that oil filter right back out and let the rest of that drain out, and then we'll put the new one on and put the new oil in. Take it the rest of the way out and dump that oil out. That oil is going to start to come out. I'm personally going to let it drain so it doesn't run down my arm. And then once it drains enough and stops leaking, I'll take the rest of it off. All right, so once you got your new oil filter, you're going to take oil, put it around the brim, and I usually just put the old oil that's sitting in the pan, make it seal. And then all you're gonna do after that, screw it back on. And you don't have to kill it when you screw it back on, because you do want to get it back off, but definitely get it tight. Now once you get all that screwed back on, you're going to want to put your oil back into it. These numbers right here are the kind of oil you want. Depending on where your tube is and what the angle is, I'm going to use a funnel just so I make sure I don't spill any of it. And then I've got, as you can see, 5W30 and 5W30. Now if you look it up online, you'll know how many quarts to put back in. This takes 6, so I have 5 quarts in this big one, and then I have one of the smaller ones to make 6 quarts. We're gonna add all this in, and then we'll start it up, let it run for 5-ish minutes, make sure there's no leaks underneath, and then we'll check the oil afterwards. Now I'm gonna take the jack stands out, get my oil pan out from underneath, and then remove my blocks and we'll be good to go. Okay, after you run it for a couple minutes, make sure there's no leaks. Then you can take your extra oil that was in either A, your bucket, if you're a broke college student, or B, your oil pan, and you can stick that oil back in the jugs that the new oil came in. Pretty easy, took 10 minutes. If it takes longer to drain your oil, it could take longer, but simple, and it definitely costs less than going to a shop.